Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Let's get started, people. It's going to be a great show today. Every show is great, but this is going to be greater.
Oh,
It's
it
going to
said
be
it.
great. It's going to be greater. Oh, man, this is going to be greater. I don't know if I should start out with saying something about this old boy or just leaving this crap alone and talking about something else. I'm going to talk about something else instead of bringing Trump into this whole daggone equation. I'm going to talk. I got something else to bring up. I was watching this show earlier from this foreign country, South Korea. They have a show over there and everything, and they have two South Koreans, and they bring in a an expert and everything from mine from United States. He comes in, and then there's a guy and stuff from he's either Australia or he's from the UK or the European Union. I don't know. He keeps rolling around and telling us different things, but they had some strategic talks. Very interesting. And why they brought this up, I have no idea. I don't have any idea. They are talking about war between China and the United States and who's going to win. Now, I haven't heard anyone or anything or anybody say anything about China or the United States wanting to go to a physical war. But they were talking about it and they were trying to rationalize each, as four of them trying to rationalize who was going to win and why. And each one of them had a theory about who was going to win and why. And the guy from South Korea was, I mean, he was all in for China winning that war. China going to beat him, China going to win. The guy from United Kingdom, he said he didn't know for sure, but he said that there was some ulterior thing going on that we didn't know about. What strategy and stuff the militarily the United States had. And his strategy and stuff talks about the theory of the United States Air Force and how all this theory started and stuff during the Biden administration. He set this thing up and everything just in case there was a war because China was threatening Taiwan. Now, people in the United States, or who our viewers, might not understand why I'm bringing this up. There's a reason why I'm saying this and a reason why I'm doing this. Trump took over as president, and everything else, other than this portion of these guys' theories and everything, he took and destroyed completely. He just totally destroyed the whole theory of what's going on. But he didn't mess with the military issues and stuff that Biden had started. And the strategy that they were going to use just in case they had a war against China. And lo and behold, two of the folks, the guy from United States who was a theorist and the gentleman from UK and stuff, they rationalized that this is the reason why they increased the budget to the military almost $200 billion. Cut everything else, but they increased that budget because of what Biden had started when he was administration was dealing with China and Taiwan. Which is that is the reason why, because the United States is so far away from China that they have to get as close as possible to them just in case they got a war with them. That's why they have those bases over there in the Far East, and they have bases and stuff all around close to China, and then bases in Europe. So they are too far away from them to wage a war. So that $200 billion and stuff and everything is for all those outlying bases and stuff that the United States and stuff have to protect their interests and stuff over there in the Far East against China. How about that, Mr. Harvey?
Well, I'm gonna take it another way.
Go ahead.
I gave up on the Pentagon, and I watch a lot of C-SPAN. So I was listening to a lot of the Pentagon conversation because they're trying to get their budget and all that, and
Mm-hmm.
people was questioning them about different expenditures. One of the generals said they asked him a question. Well, how are you with the drones? Well, we're trying to outsource or contract people to try to get us up to par with the drones. Now, we have all kind of intel. I mean, supposedly. Supposed to be out there contacting people, finding out what people's doing, all that kind of stuff, so that you can keep up and find out what these other nations are doing. Well, we already know that China is so high level with these drones. And I mean, they're making hundreds and thousands of them a day. They got all kind of IT people, programmers, all that building these drones. I mean, from a size of a butterfly to the size of a miniature airplane. And they high tech. Here we are. We're supposed to be number one in the tech field. And we playing games. We still building big bombs and everything else. And the thing is, you can ship these little things anywhere you want to and disguise them any kind of way you want to or whatever. So I'm concerned. You talking about $200 billion, that's chump change.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, whatever they're going to use it for, I mean, they don't tell us, exactly how it's going to be spent and who's going to be in charge of it or nothing like that. But I understand what they're doing to a certain degree because that's the old standard. You always try to be ready and stay ready. But these people got all kind of weaponry when it comes to those drones, and it don't cost an arm and a leg. We got planes and bombs costing millions and multi-millions of dollars. Them drones only cost a few hundred, maybe a few $1,000s. So that's my concern as far as our security. And one of the generals, I guess that's what he was, said that, well, one of the problems that we have, we can't detect them under the radar. They can go under the radar and they can't be detected. So that's my concern on that.
Well, one of the other theories and stuff that they have was that if all else fails and they China decide to do anything, they always hold the nuclear option and stuff on board. We're gonna use our nuclear weapons and stuff and everything at the last resort to decide and stuff who's gonna be in power and who's gonna stay in power. When Biden was in office, he brought an individual into the office and made him in charge of some different projects and stuff that he was thinking about doing. And the gentleman and stuff that he had invited and stuff in was this ex CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt. And Eric Schmidt's theory and stuff is that this world domination and stuff that we're going to have and everything is all dependent upon one thing, and that's who dominates artificial intelligence. And that is the reason and stuff, supposedly, why you have so much money that the United States and these billionaires and everybody else is sinking into artificial intelligence. It is a battle to see who's going to dominate using artificial intelligence. Whoever takes the lead and dominates in artificial intelligence, they figure is probably going to be the world dominant leader. Artificial intelligence is going to take over. According to them. According to them.
NVIDIA, $5 trillion market share.
They dumping big money into artificial intelligence, buddy. Everything. You talk to those people on Wall Street, you talk to all those people in any market that you have out there, in the Chinese market, the Japanese market, and the number one thing they dumping that money in on is artificial intelligence. They want to dominate artificial intelligence. That's the thing. And I guarantee you, if you talk to any of those investors, those big investors, BlackRock, all of them, that thing is artificial intelligence, brother. They don't care about anything else. And I'm pretty sure that's probably why NVIDIA is hitting that $5 trillion mark. And it probably ain't going to stop there, Ted.
Damn.
It's probably not going to stop.
It took one company to reach $1 trillion?
Hey.
And this thing is up to $5 trillion.
Hey, I'm telling you, these people they are dumping their money into artificial intelligence. It is the new thing now. Whoever dominates artificial intelligence and stuff, they feel gonna dominate the world. And I'm pretty sure the next company closer to them is nowhere near $5 trillion. They probably looking at about 3 trillion, maybe 3.5 trillion, but they ain't nowhere near 5 trillion. And I wouldn't bet. I'd bet it's going to be higher than that to you before the end of the year is over. Well, they're going to hit them. Their market share is going to be out of sight. It is. They are determined to get into artificial intelligence because that field, brother, is wide open. I'm telling you, Ted. I'm seeing stuff nowadays, man, that is absolutely unbelievable that this crap is doing and how these folks are using artificial intelligence right now. It is unbelievable what they are doing with it. And supposedly, from a couple of people out there who are talking, that our old boy, Mr. Doge himself, is supposed to be coming out with something big in artificial intelligence in just a couple of months.
Who?
Elon,
Eli?
he's supposed to be coming out with something in artificial intelligence that's going to shock the world.
Well, you already got AI out there.
But he's got something that's coming out that's going to shock the world that he is doing with it. Supposedly, I've been seeing these folks out there talking about it, and they're coming on and they're advertising it. You need to get into this, people. You need to get into this. Elon is getting ready to come out with something that deals with artificial intelligence that is going to shock the world. The thing that's going to make him a $1 trillion man. And nobody's saying what it is, but supposedly he's got something up his sleeve, buddy, that he's getting ready to come out with it. Something that nobody else and stuff has. So we shall see. So that's what I'm starting out this whole show with, people. We are talking about artificial intelligence. We are talking about world domination. We're talking about all of this. We're gonna leave Trump out of this whole thing if we can. I don't know if we can do it, but we're gonna try to leave him out of this show today.
Well, I got
But
two things I'm gonna
it's
mention.
gonna be impossible to do that. So go ahead, Ted.
Anyway, Target lost almost 13 billion in their market share, and the reason being is that the boycott impact and their sales declined. So whatever people are doing about Target is working. It's working. Now, I've never been a big Target person, but every once in a while, maybe 3-4 times a year, I used to go in there and I might buy something, a scale or this or that or whatever. And it's a nice store. Very nice store. However, it's working. The other thing I wanted to bring up is these cities, big cities. LA, Chicago, Baltimore, New York, Philly, you name it. All these major big cities. The one thing that you see all of this, and they are prevalent, and a lot of them are not. So it all depends on what day of the week or what's going on. And the investments in our youth is very scarce. And I'm gonna say that again. The investments in our youth is very scarce. There are a lot of nonprofits and organizations that's trying to help these youth people. I'm talking about people from 14 on up to 18, 20 years old. The investments should be into our centers, building community centers for these youth for athletics, music, academics, and every community should have a community center so that these young people will have some place to stay, and they should be secured in safe places where they can go and come as they please. You want to stop youth violence because my mother used to always tell me, what's that saying? I can't even think of the name of the saying, but something is the devil's workshop.
Oh,
So
and idle mind is
there
the
you go.
devil's workshop.
Idle mind is a devil's workshop. And so therefore, if you idle, doing nothing, lounging around, sitting on the porch, walking around in the neighborhood doing nothing, if you ain't got no part-time job or summer job, if you're not at a center learning something, a skill or something, you got an idle mind because you're sitting around doing nothing. And 9 times out of 10, we already know. I don't care who you are, and what color you are, what nationality or ethnic group you are. You hang around a bunch of little knucklehead boys, y'all gonna get in trouble. You're gonna do something stupid. That's just the way it is. Because you got those alpha males and everybody else, and they want to do something stupid. But if you got them or put them around leadership, meaning that they got a part-time job, working, somebody telling them what to do, how to do it, or they're in a center where somebody's supervising them, teaching them whatever they want to learn, they won't have no idle mind. But nobody wants to invest into these young kids. Now you got thousands and thousands of, I dare say millions of kids, and there are parents that spend their hard-earned money to pay for the membership at the Y, to pay for membership for taking yoga classes, dance classes, taking academic classes. They got to pay for all this stuff. And a lot of people can't afford that. That's a sacrifice so that their kids won't get in trouble and they'll have something to do. Even the fact that you have to sacrifice to pick your kid up from a part-time job and take them to work if they don't have access to public transportation. So if you want to stop youth carousing, get these people a summer job. I remember ever since I was 14, I had me a summer job. I'm talking about a paying summer job. So y'all need to stop it. Y'all kind of clowning because see a lot of this stuff is ridiculous because I know I coached a lot of basketball players, little kids. I'm talking about from 12 on up to 18. You always gonna have a couple of knuckleheads on your team, but I can guarantee you most of those kids are good kids.
Speaking of education, glad you brought it up. CPS. You spoke about these major cities. I'm talking about CPS. You know who CPS is, don't you?
Yeah.
Chicago Public School System are going broke. They are bankrupt. They are already trying to determine how they are going to open the schools up after the summer's over with. They are projecting that they are going to be 1,400 teachers and positions and stuff. They are going to be eliminated if they can't get their budget, any money and stuff for Chicago Public School. They're begging the state legislature to start to send them some money, to appropriate some money out of the state budget to keep their school system open. And as you know, Ted, the Department of Education is cutting $200 billion from their budget. So I would think that with all that money that they're taking out of the education department and everything, and they're not going to have, the Chicago Public Schools is not going to be the only school system and everything that is going to be involved in budget cuts. They're just the one that's already started because they already know, even without the budget cuts, that they were in trouble. So this upcoming school year, folks, look out. We might be seeing a whole lot of other school systems and stuff out there, public school systems, that probably either may not start or they may have, like some of the other school systems have been doing and stuff, and just letting the kids stay at home and everything, and they're doing their school classes online. And a lot of school systems out there now are doing that. They are because they don't have the money to pay for the transportation to bring their kids back and forth from school. They don't have the resources and stuff and everything to take care of those schools or the janitorial service or the food service and everything. They're letting these children stay at home and they are schooling them online. So those folks and stuff who households have computers, have internet, and all this other stuff, probably going to be able to make it on through. But as you know, Ted, there's a lot of other poor folks who don't have a computer in their home. These kids do not have a computer in their home. They don't have internet in their home. So how are they going to be educated? Only God knows.
Well, you're right. However, there are companies out there that's giving computers away. All you gotta do is write them. The Dell company, HP, you name it. You tell them your circumstances, send them a letter, email, whatever. A parent should do this, or a child, and ask them for a computer because you can't afford a computer. Simple as that.
Now, Ted, now you thought about that. Why wouldn't you think that some of these other folks and everything would have put that into their mind and stuff or sat down with their school board and thought about that? That there are people out there, individuals out there, billionaires or whoever, that might donate some money and stuff to keep things like that going. Or use what you got. If these people are taking $200 billion out of the education budget and everything, somebody got to come up with that money. And it's out there because there's a lot of people out there who have a lot of money. A lot of corporations out there who have a lot
And
of
they looking
money.
to get that money away, bro, because they looking for write-offs. They're looking for write-offs.
They're
So,
not. They are. These folks are in the box, and they don't like going outside the box, Ted. They don't like going outside the box and thinking.
yeah,
That's
well,
the thought
where there's a
process.
will,
That's
there's a will,
the
there's a
thought
way.
process that these executives and these administrators and stuff are in and stuff now. Because if you notice and stuff, Ted, the folks and stuff now who are in charge of educating our children came out of that 2000 educational system and thought that came from George Bush. And you know
Uh-oh.
what? And you know what George Bush did? He changed the education department over and stopped the kids and stopped the schools from doing what? Thinking. And they taught to the test. We're gonna pass this test. We're gonna pass this test. We're
So
gonna
what,
pass this test.
Ed, wait, excuse me. What are you saying, bro? You saying that they ain't thinking?
Yes, I am. They done took thinking away. It's no more out of the box. That's what I'm saying about. They're not thinking outside the box. The thought process is gone. The only thing we do is we got a process here, and they teach them by the test. You got to pass the test. That's it. As long as you pass the test, you fine. You can graduate. That's
Well,
what's going on. So we have successfully so far, and we're almost halfway through our show. We have not brought up so and
you
so and
keep
so and
on
so.
bringing them up.
We haven't brought them up. No, we haven't. We haven't brought them up yet. Now, uh, I will change the subject here. I've been looking at the fact that we have a lot of these states out here who are struggling, brother. I'm telling you, they're struggling. They're struggling hard. You got Louisiana, they struggling, man. They're getting ready to take care of Medicaid funding and all this other stuff. They're struggling like hell. They got disasters going on. They got flooding going on. They got all kinds of stuff happening and everything. So there are states out there, Ted, that are absolutely rich. They have big money that they contribute into the federal budget, and they contribute more than they get back. And the top 10 states that contribute the most money to the federal budget, 6 of them are blue states.
Yeah.
6 of them are blue states, are governed by Democrats. 6 of them. You only got 4 in the Republican area. You ain't gonna guess who they are.
Well, I know Texas is one.
Texas is one. Who's the next? Florida. Florida next. Ohio next. After that, next other state, Georgia.
Everybody
Texas,
else is getting. Everybody else in the red states are getting money
from these states,
from these states and all
from
the
these
blue
states,
states.
all these blue states. They're getting
That's
that
how they
money.
surviving.
That's how they survive it. But you got a few red states and stuff, Republican states and stuff, will contribute. Now, 2 of the 4 Republican states, their income that goes in that they have is over $1 billion. $1 trillion, I'm sorry. Florida got $1.7 trillion that they contribute, that they're worth. Texas is 3 trillion dollars. The biggest one is Florida. They control $4.1 trillion. So NVIDIA company, who's worth $5 trillion, beats out the top producing state in this country. They are worth more money than the state of Florida. Florida, California, they $4.1 trillion that they contribute. They the biggest one, number 1. Texas number 2.
Well, now you got to realize this is their GPD. So their national
Yep.
gross product. So the thing is that there's so many dollars that go to the federal government, which number 1, California and Texas both have threatened to
They're
secede.
probably contributing at least $1 trillion into our budget.
Yeah. Well,
Each one
they're
of them.
threatening. Both of them are threatening to secede from the United States.
They contribute over $1 trillion into the federal budget.
But here's the thing that these governors, and not so much as Governor Newsom, but the other governor over in Texas, they've been talking about this crap for 20, 30 years. But the point is that they don't realize that everything is interconnected, right? You ain't gonna make no money if nobody buy your products. You ain't gonna make no money if nobody buy your products. You got oil, okay. That's one of your major production things. What else do you make? You got some farm stuff that's going on, but who's gonna buy your products? So you have to, just like you do that foreign stuff, you got to negotiate and you got to try to figure out, try to export your produce and stuff like that. Well, you got to do the same thing with the United States. The United States can freeze your butt out. And then on top of that, a lot of those corporations, Texas got quite a few Fortune 500 companies there.
Yes, they do.
And they can say, hey, I can't do business with you because number 1, I do business all over the world, especially the United States. I got to go somewhere else because you done succeeded.
Yep.
They just moved their business right out of your state because they're about making money.
Absolutely.
The reason why they're in your state is because, in Florida, is because you don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Yeah. Now,
You don't
2
pay
of them,
state income tax.
2 of those states do not have state income tax, and that's Florida and Texas.
Texas, right? You don't pay.
You don't have state income tax. Yeah. No state income tax.
Yeah. So that's the deal. So the thing is that that's just a threat. That's a whole card that they use. But the thing is what I can't understand, and this has always been, this ain't the first time we talked about this. We've talked about this a half a dozen times. The thing is that, in my opinion, you got these states that don't even have a million population and not even making $500
Well,
billion dollars.
what make California so tough and everything is that two of their major exports, their major products and stuff and everything, the United States, they they have 1/3 of the vegetables and stuff that this country could consume come from Florida. I mean California. 2/3 of their nuts and I think avocados and stuff and everything come from who they're consumed here in the United States come from California. 1/3 of our vegetables come from California. That's a lot.
Yeah, but almost half come from Mexico.
But Mexico getting ready to go, but they done left. They done left. They kissed they done told and I'm getting ready to say his name now. We are almost in we done went over half our
Well, you
show.
weren't bringing them up.
We done went over half our
I
show
ain't
and
bringing
everything
them
now,
up.
so he done popped up. He done popped up. After he gave that ultimatum and dumped that 50% tariff on them, they said KMA. Mexico said KMA. They done joined the BRICS. We joined the BRICS, and guess what they did? We have North American free trade and everything. They going all the way through everything, and United States sitting right in the middle. Well, Mexico done hot past us, and they done went to Canada and said, "Hey, we need a trade agreement. Can we have some free trade?" And Canada said, "Yep, we invite you to come into our free trade," and left the United States out. So that August 1st deadline that he done gave everybody. Them, these folks out there telling, kiss my ass. Hey, you can keep that tariff stuff. We going someplace else. So it looks like they getting ready to shoot past August 1st because it's only about two and a half weeks away. And they are most of them already gone. They took that letter that he sent them and tore it up. Brazil, he sent them that letter of 50%. And Lula said, tore that thing up and threw it in the garbage. We don't need you. Oh man.
Well, here's the thing with all of that, my opinion. You always said that the political ramifications of things in the United States is like a big
A big
old
ship.
carrier
It's a
ship.
big carrier, big
And
cargo
it
ship.
turns very slow.
You can turn around so slow.
And
That
the
summer
thing is,
gun has messed up the steering, Ted, and we getting ready to sink. He'd have put a big hole in the down the hull, and if we getting ready to sink,
well,
and I
the
don't think
thing is,
we can take all that water.
the thing is that people think it's a joke, and this is macho and talking all this and talking all that, and not doing any kind of diplomatic, real reasoning, and trying to come to some kind of compromise. So now here we are. So they're doing what they do, and here we are. The American people is the one that's going to suffer, just like tourism. He sit up here and threaten the whole world. Don't come here and threaten the whole world. We're going to put everybody out and all that stuff. Now the tourism uh, industry is losing money.
It's them
that right
headlines.
there
It's
is a
it's them it's those headlines, Ted. They got specific folks who are coming into this country, and the ones who are being treated the worst and stuff. They are sending these headlines out into the international community, and they're looking at that and everything. Oh man, we can't come there. Just like the guy and stuff who from Ireland came here to visit his girlfriend in West Virginia. Well, his visa had expired. He was only supposed to be here for 90 days, and his visa had expired. And he was still here. It expired for 3 days. And he just so happened the police stopped him. He did something wrong. The police stopped him and they threw his ass in jail. And he was in jail for damn near 6 months before they let him out. But that was probably his fault. Any other time it wouldn't have been that big of a deal and everything. But because of what this guy's doing here in this country and everything, they blew this shit all out of proportion and everything. The guy he overstayed his 90 days. They locked his ass up, which is normal. But they blew it all up and made it look like they messing with these foreigners. Now I know, Ted, these folks is begging people to come to the United States. They begging people to come. They begging the Canadians to come here. Please come here. It ain't like we don't want them here. I know Florida is hurting like hell because the tourism is down so far. They hurting. They want them people. Vegas, they want them people to come there because their money comes from these Canadians and the Chinese and that Far East and them folks over there. They come over here and spend your money here and stuff with us. We're not going to let nothing happen to you. But most of those folks and everything, they just got it in their mouths. Oh, we can't go there because they got bad stuff going. I might get arrested. So yeah, it's bad news all around. But like you said, Ted, hopefully this stuff will end here pretty soon, and we can turn this stuff around. If we can get past this August the 1st, and then you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna throw up another one. Well, we're gonna do this in September. We're gonna wait till September and stuff to get it done. So September the 1st, we're giving everybody a chance to make a deal here, and everything's gonna be all right. Well, they can't keep on throwing that thing out and being and people, even the news folks who are being blackmailed and stuff by them, that they can keep on saying this crap and everything, and people are gonna believe this stuff. It is not. They can't do it any too much longer. I'm just hoping that before this debt thing hit us and everything real tough to it, that somebody in the infinite wisdom will wake up and try to figure out how to get us through this crap. If we can get through this daggone debt thing, we might be okay. And as you know, Congress negotiates trade agreements. They gave him up until I think it was September and stuff and everything when his thing expires where he cannot negotiate any more trade agreements. And hopefully by then there'll be some people in the Republican caucus and stuff and everything that's going to tell the Speaker of the House, "Hey, bud, we got to end this shit here because we hurting like hell. My people hurting, and we need to end this daggone crap that this man doing about this. We negotiating deals, and he the big deal making and everything because this crap is not working." And they will take over the reins and stuff and everything and start negotiating and stuff and bring Canada and Mexico back in the fold. Hopefully, if we can make it through. We might, because we close to August now. We only got another month and a half. Might be able to make it. Somebody will come up and say, "Hey, we got to stop this crap." Or the courts will stop it and tell him he does not have the authority to negotiate no deals, no tariffs, and all this other stuff with these countries. Hopefully. Hopefully, Ted. All right. What else is on the agenda here, brother?
you don't know what I want to talk about is really I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just my perception. It's just my opinion, and it's sort of kind of. I don't have no experience in this thing, and I'm talking about security,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking about over the million plus police officers, FBI people, all of that. And the thing is that a lot of these people, it's just my opinion now, it seemed like they were very lackadaisical in handling this crime thing. Because there's a lot of little different things that be happening, and people are in tune. But it seems like that's what they were doing. They were sort of kind of softballing. I know I've heard remnants of that in Chicago. They didn't respond properly, and they weren't beating the beat like they're supposed to, and they just allowed some of these undesirables, I guess you can call them, just run ragged. They wasn't stopping the promotion of these illegal weapons and what have you, and they weren't tough on crime. And you hear a lot of them in on it themselves, because, drug selling and gun selling is a big deal. So when I think of that, these people, they put their life on the line, and I respect that because you can be walking down the street as a police officer and get shot, you know. But you signed up for the job, and you can't be allowing these unions to tell you, to ease up on what you're supposed to be doing your job. I ain't talking about messing with innocent people just walking down the street. I'm talking about dealing with these people that's committing these heinous crimes. And it's just my opinion. And I mean, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm just talking about news articles I have read, incidents that has happened. People talk. And to me, you want America to be really safe and sound, you have to prevent it and help these youth. But at the same time, you're supposed to be protecting and serving, not harassing people unnecessarily. Somebody opening their own car and you go in there and arrest them, talking about they still in the car or whatever. So I'm just saying, and you got, the car thievery industry is in the millions. It's in the millions. The thievery, the thievery in internet thievery, breaking into these stores, taking clothes out, is in the millions, billions really. And who pays for it? It's the consumer. We the people. The reason why prices are high goes up because they're gonna put that. They say, okay, well, we know last year we lost $100 billion in sales because of thievery. Well, who's gonna pay that? Make up that cost. We are, because they're gonna add a dime or a nickel or a dollar to their products to make it back up. We don't want to pay for that. But that's why we're paying to serve and protect. You're supposed to be stopping all that crap. So, and a lot of people doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. I know that. But what I'm saying is, I think there has been, they've been stepping up now because I think their eyeballs, people have eyeballs on them more so now. But I'm just saying, I'm just hoping and praying that, because, that's what they're for. They're supposed to protect and serve the people, not be harassing old ladies because they got a ticket. or messing with somebody because they look suspicious. You think they look suspicious because they ain't dressed like you think. You know, we're in a free country. We supposed to be. That's my opinion on that.
Okay, brother. Uh, I won't bring this up. I'm gonna leave this alone for a little bit. I'm gonna bring this back. This other item that I got. I'm gonna bring it back up when I think people are about ready for it. We have uh, a system out there that we use for our phones. We have a system out there that um, depends on a thing called GPS, Global Positioning System, where you can figure out where somebody is at, where they're going, and what they're doing. Well, competition for the GPS has gotten stiff. And we have a major player out there that the United States has told them you can't come up in here and use your GPS at all, your global positioning system. But they have a global positioning system and everything that will beat our stuff hands down. So we're not keeping up with the technology and stuff in this country. And I think that our research and all the other stuff that we're doing, we got to get our stuff together, people. These other countries are passing us by here. And if we don't start doing that and everything, we are not going to win any war at all because somebody else is going to be taking over. Anyway, final word, Ted.
Well, I'm looking at that picture you got behind you. Miles Davis. And, you know, I used to listen to him a little bit, not a whole lot. I'm not a great jazz person, but I love some jazz. However, have you ever saw the bio on Miles Davis by Don Chino?
Mm-mm.
If you ever get a chance to watch that movie. Now, at first, what turned me off because he don't resemble Miles Davis. The only thing is the color of his skin. He's very dark complexion. Miles Davis was very dark complexion.
Mm-hmm.
And Miles Davis, you know, he had a certain look about him that was unique, exotic.
Mm-hmm. He did.
And so when Don Chino played him, he looked like Don Chino. You know, they tried, you know, whatever. But that boy did that thing.
Mm-hmm.
He played that role, bro. At first, it kind of, you know, he playing Miles Davis, man. Come on. He's supposed to be Miles Davis. Miles Davis was super cool. He was the coolest dude walking on the earth during his time, bro.
And he dressed a little wild. His hairstyle was just, oh man, it was
saying, that
way,
was him.
way past what people
He
are
was an
talking even
artist. He was
today.
an
Yeah.
artist. He was an artist. And so it took me a little time to get into the movie. But once he started playing him, I said, he got it. He got his whole demeanor, all of that. But it took me a little while before I got into him. But he played that part. You know, he didn't have the look, of course, but he sure had it. He did a good job.
I didn't think anyone would notice that my background there.
I notice everything, bro. Come on.
Yeah. I didn't think anybody would notice that. This is an artist, a lady and stuff who drew that picture and stuff back there and everything, and I'm just kind of advertising her work and everything for her. So if anybody liked the work and everything, just let me know and I'll put you in contact with her. So she would love to sell you guys some pieces and stuff of all of her artwork. She does an excellent job. I mean, she's a damn good artist. So anyway, people, I don't have a whole lot to say about my final word. Nothing at all. Other than this is the final word. We see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.